if we can.
Yeah.
Okay, if I can come on to a sordid question of money.
Yeah.
Everyone's running, some people say they're running on a modest budget of 300 grand. I've been told that's a fairly modest budget.
Yeah.
Can I have some idea? Are you modest or slightly less modest?
No, I mean, I think everyone's round about that ballpark. 300, 350,000. Depends what you want to do. I mean, where the expense comes into it isn't. It's damage, obviously. If you have a lot of damage, parts,
splitters must be several thousand euro.
Yeah, well, it's all carbon fibre, so obviously to replace a front end, is very expensive. But it's testing as well. That's the big thing that gets you, because it's not so much doing the testing; it's the kilometres on the engine. So every manufacturer, has a kilometre mileage in effect with engines, and if obviously you go over that, then you're due a rebuild, and you can rack up. You could do 500-600 kilometres in a day, and that's a reasonable test. You could do more if you do a full day.
Yeah.
So that's where the cost comes in. So it's little things like that. But yeah, I mean, I think the majority are on a modest budget. But I mean, the level of British GT has gone through the roof in the last two years.
It's fantastic. Isn't
it's
it?
huge.
It's a really class field.
Yeah, and you rock up here. British touring cars are lovely, great championship, very professional. And I think this now is definitely on par. With machinery, with teams, very professional. Some of the teams at the sharp end. And yeah, that obviously it costs a bit more to have that, but ultimately that's what you need to be up there every weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we were commentating even just on the cost of the transporters that are lined up here. It's sort of F1 type, effectively. Yeah. I remember right back to the old days when Williams was running his first F1 team, actually using a Pickford's removal van as a transporter.
Gone the days.
Gone then. Forget about that.
And this is British GT. We've been doing the Blancpain Endurance Championship this year, and there's more top teams in that. It's very much manufacturer backed as well. So when you rock up to Spa and you see Audi rock up with 5 factory cars in effect, you can imagine the trucks, the manpower to run those cars is massive. But that's the level that now the sport's gone. Yes, it costs more to do, but if you want to win, unfortunately you have to pay them.
You have quite a few volunteer pit crew.
Yeah, so our cars run by Aston themselves, run it pro drive. So Andrew owns the car, Andrew owns the truck and whatnot, but the car is very much run internally through pro drive. And it's good because it's customer kind of based in effect. So anything that we find on the car, customers can have or look at, and vice versa. If the customer team is really good and they're trying something a bit different, then ultimately we can try and lure towards that as well. So we all try and help each other, and it's nice to see this weekend 4 GT3 Astons on the grid. Because you do see in Europe a lot of Audis, a lot of Porsches and Ferraris, but it's nice in the UK that Aston as a brand is growing to the race car, and it's a competitive package and it's good customer service that ProDrives you can provide now as well.
Yes, indeed. Are you also doing the European Championship?
Yeah, so this year we've done 4 rounds of Blancpain. We decided not to do the last round just purely because it was so close on this round that we wanted to do a test last week.
Was that down in the south of France?
It was in Nürburgring. That was European Le Mans.
Yeah.
So Nürburgring was the last round for Blancpain, and we never went to that. But we done Spa 24, we done Silverstone, Blancpain, Monza, and Paul Ricard. But for me personally, in 2 weeks' time, I'm going to Fuji, so I'm doing the next round of the World Championship with AMR. So that's cool. But yeah, we just want to try and finish this weekend off. I mean, it's been I've thoroughly enjoyed British GT this year. We started off really poorly. I mean, first round with 0 on the board, a lot of damage. And we thought it was over then, but we plugged away at it. And it's consistency, that's what wins championships, and we've managed to have that. We just need to try and finish it off this weekend.
Well, I really hope that this is your weekend.
Thank you.
And I wish you the best of luck.
Cheers.
And thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you.